This media is brought to you by Polyscope.
In the realm of tomorrow, where techniques mind, we ponder, we dream.
All right, so thank you so much for coming on the show. It's great to finally meet you because this is how we meet each other nowadays over Zoom. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your organization and what you're passionate about?
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Alexey, and I'm Chief Product Officer at Zinc and also co-founder. So at Zinc, we are working on AI coach for fitness. So our goal is to make the coach that will be your fitness buddy and will behave as a real coach and okay, not like as a real, but close to real coach.
Yeah,
Because
I
it
want,
will
I want like an Optimus robot to stand over me on my workouts and start yelling at me, like a drill sergeant, right? That's what I want.
I
How
think
far away are we from that?
Yeah, I think in this case we will have a quite good retention, but not good activation because everyone will be scared.
Sometimes you need that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, because from what we see from our users, we see that motivational part is quite essential. That's why,
Mm.
for example, for us in Zinc, we believe that real coach should, even AI should have three components. So it's knowledge, so about domain, so you should be expert in this domain. You should be proactive, so it's not about let's say how currently everyone interacts with GPT when it's a question answering system, but sometimes you should be this kind of sergeant, maybe some cheerful sergeant, but you should push user to do workouts, remind about it, because it's so many sometimes even, let's say, excuses from childhood from
Oh
our youth
yeah,
why they do not do workouts.
yeah.
And also you should interact with the users during their workout session, because you should provide feedback, you should advise, you should adapt workouts. That's why for us it's everything important, and we have different components, mostly based on AI and ML, so it's not like limited only to communicational part or like GPT wrapper that currently a lot of product use. So we have a recommender engine and so on. It's a lot of interesting challenges in there, so that we are trying to resolve. But we see quite positive traction and adoption rate. For example, when we started 4 years ago, it was very hard to sell for user ID of AI coach, and we needed to work a lot on expectations. But currently, users already expect some kind of behavior, what our coach should do. If we, for example, miss some expectations from our users, they start immediately complain about it. So, and I think a lot of products are even like Spotify that provides personalization, or Netflix, and current adoption of all of these smart agents helped user to understand how this kind of system should work.
Nice, nice. So, are you one of the founders of the company?
Yeah, I'm
Excellent.
co-founder.
So what drove you to this? Like what was the thing that drove you in this direction that made you want to do this? Did you have issues working out yourself or what was the driving factor?
I'm working in fitness space for, I think, more than 7 years.
Mm.
Zinc is like my second company in this space. Previously, I founded AI yoga coach that fully was like with computer vision and
Ooh,
just one
nice.
coach with the eyes. We also use this kind of technology inside Zinc, but that product was fully built around it. And I see that currently, if we take a look at fitness space, for me, it's underserved in case of innovations, because we see quite big leaps in some of the areas. I don't know, even like, let's say, image or video generation or smart assistants, or I don't know, even in banking. But for fitness, experience is more or less the same that it was like in 80s.
Oh yeah, it
Uh,
hasn't changed at all. It has not
yeah,
changed.
because you have like gym experience or fitness studios, and you have home experience that usually limited by some kind of video, but it's still the same, but not like on VHS or on TV broadcasting, like with the Jane Fonda and so on. But now you have
I remember that one. There was one like from the 80s where there was just like three women who were doing aerobics. I forget which one that is. Like they should bring that one
yeah.
back. I think there was less working out going on and just more ogling in those kind of shows.
Yeah, but currently you have quite the same experience, but now it's live streaming. You
Yeah.
have a bigger variety, you have apps, but you still need to do something after pre-recorded videos, and it's not like fully personalized. You still have some kind of, let's say, premium content, but it's still just fully content based. And last 10 years, I think it was like another one big revolution in wearables with
Mm.
the Apple Watch, Garmin, Whoop, Aura started to grow. Currently, users know much more about them. So started to know about metrics which they even haven't known that they exist, like I don't know, VO2 Max or something like that. And
Hmm.
current users and people more aware about it, about health. And currently, I see this kind of demand on it. And that's why I believe that in case of fitness, technology already on that stage when we can provide more personalized approach, more interactive approach. And there are a lot of products on the market that are working on different parts of this, like I don't know, tonal tempo with all of these interactive mirrors.
Yes. No, I remember what happened. What happened to Tonal? I think they're gone now, right? They didn't survive, or I thought Tonal was a
Uh,
great idea.
I think it was like I feel they still exist,
Hmm.
but I think it's was the same as with other fitness products in pandemic. So it was like huge boom
Oh yeah.
and maybe overestimation of potential. But
Right.
currently, I think it's more or less calibrated and they're on good traction. But velocity of growth is not so high like it was in pandemic. So, but
Oh
it's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. That has just definitely changed. So, I mean, it must have been hard for you to launch what you were doing before generative AI became huge, right? So there was probably a learning curve there for a lot of people. It's like, why would I use AI? AI is not a thing yet, right? Prior to ChatGPT and other generative AI services coming out.
Yeah, sometimes it's even worse, not like even benefit at the start. So AI
Yeah,
was something like okay, a little bit scary, let's
yeah.
say. So it's something artificial and how it will work. It's some kind of cold algorithm. I want my coach. But currently, for us, it's even important to work on, let's say, replication of human behavior and with
Mm,
on tone of voice, how we interact with users, because we want to have this kind of connection between our app and user. And for example, we had experiment when we changed all of the avatars and visual representation of our coach from, let's say, something abstract to real coach.
mm.
And we had 20% uplift into activation and communication with our coach.
Oh
And
wow, seriously? That's
yes,
interesting.
and in all of our researches, and we also spoke to users, and they said that they want to have a coach. Okay, they understand that it's like not real coach,
Yeah.
but they want
But if it's
to
an
make,
avatar, it's like when you
yeah,
went
yeah,
to a more realistic coach, it was actually a better uplift. That's interesting because I thought it would
yeah,
be the
yeah, and
opposite.
they want to have someone who look like real coach because usually real coaches are fit. And that's
Yes.
why, for example, it's you believe in this person because if this person is fit, that means that this person knowledgeable about it, so that
Yeah. Even if
they
they're
can,
not a real person.
yeah,
I love
they
it.
can help you. So it you don't believe will not believe that I don't know all from Duolingo will teach you how to do exercise, but nice guy or girl can.
Hmm. So how do you get over so what makes yours different from every other app? Because there's tons of fitness apps out there, tons of them. And just adding AI doesn't make it that much of a difference. How do you use AI in such a specific way to make it really effective?
Yeah, most of the product on currently on market is let's say content library. So it's
Mm,
a different kind of premium content, but it's still a library. You need to find your own workout that will fit you and so on. We have like three big pillars. First of all, it's a recommender engine. So based on your profile, your interactions, your preference, we are building from scratch plan for you, and every workout is uh, individual for our users. So every weight, every rep, we are building based on your uh, abilities and preferences.
mm.
Then we use our communicational components, so it's a communication with users, depends on part of user journey, depends on history. For example, if you will skip several workouts, we started to push you. With a different approach, or will if we see that you have a spike in some kind of metric, I don't know, your let's say weird to max is growing, we will highlight it and motivate you. So for us, it's quite important to be proactive. And for example, recently we had integration into WhatsApp to
Mm.
be closer to our users because, okay, app is app and all of the push notifications currently, let's say you have, I think, a lot of push notifications in your
Oh
app
yeah, every day, tons, tons. They get
from
mashed up with
different
everything else. You
from,
never.
from different products. That's why we also believe that this like closer communication in messengers will help to build this accountability and stickiness with our
Oh,
coach.
so you can
And
actually talk to your coach through other channels other than the app.
yeah, so
Interesting.
it's our goal. And if we will see that it's not like only messengers, but other channels, we want our coach be there. So to be as close as possible, because we see that real coaches have these like clients that currently are fully guided in WhatsApp or Messenger or something like that, and it works. So why then our coach cannot guide our
Yeah,
users
because if you think about
in
it,
the
a real
channel?
human coach wouldn't be available and accessible all the time. They would be accessible through that type of communication, and then they would be accessible during your workout. So you're having your workout, but then outside of your workout times, you're communicating with them through WhatsApp or Messenger or some other medium. So they're acting more like a real human coach.
Yeah, and for example, we had experiment with our co-founder Walter. He is like our fitness expert, and we try to replicate this kind of experience. But I expected him to be, let's say, instead of our AI coaching before we did this kind of integration, and he guided me, provided for me like a workout plan, check my results, and it works quite nice because, for example, when Walter pushed me, so it usually was around 5 workouts per week. I was quite consistent, but then Walter was busy in business travel, and then my number of workouts dropped to, I don't know, two, and
Oh no.
was only
Did he yell
those
at you?
workouts. No, so he's like quite positive guy. So, but in general, it works, this kind of accountability. But it's quite funny that at some moment I started to think that he's also like AI. And then I had a question for him in gym. I was in gym and about one of the exercises that he recommended to me, and I hadn't responded, I don't know, for 15 seconds. And for
Mhm.
me, it's okay, Walter, it's 15 seconds. Come on. So how long should I wait?
So you mistook him for an AI. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. So because it's usually quite
Yeah,
immediate answer for you,
yeah.
and even this kind of delay for 50 seconds, it's okay.
So did you basically replicate him to become the AI coach? Like, did you create a version of him as the AI coach? So is that what
Uh,
you did, or is it an amalgam of different coaches?
uh, so we usually we are not like very into approach when we need to have one version for all of the users. It
Mm,
means about workout plans and about communication. Of course, it's some part of Walter's personality inside our app because
right.
he guided us in case of workouts, in case of communications, behavioral stuff, and so on. But for example, there are a lot of different users. Someone should have this kind of surgeon, but another one should have very supportive coach who
Hmm.
always will be cheerful and so on. And we need to identify which personality will work better and provide it. So I don't believe in idea that one thing can fit all. So it can be quite good, but it will be always neutral and will not provide like positive feeling for users. It will be just some kind of neutral experience.
Yeah, that's interesting. So do I pick a character and then say, well, like the drill sergeant character or the caring one
Yeah,
or
yeah.
the yoga
So it's our
instructor?
idea. Yeah, you're when you started using the app, you have four currently different coaches, and we provide the characteristic for them. But currently, we still experimenting, which we need to keep, and we usually testing this kind of tone of voices. So, but in general, yes, we providing ability to pick way how you want to communicate.
And then if I pick the drill sergeant and it's effective or it's not effective, does the personality changed based on my feedback, or do I have to pick somebody else, or how changeable is that? How more modifiable is it?
So currently, you can switch it by yourself. Our goal is to make it as you described, but as we launched it like quite a few months ago only, we do not have a lot of data to just create model that will identify this. We need a little bit more data to understand which signals will help us. Because usually when user dropped it, it means that user very hard to resurrect. So
Mm.
it's you need to put a lot of efforts, and our goal is not is prevent this kind of churn. So because we even created our model from our user behavior, and for us it's much cheaper to retain user than to resurrect them.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. So can you tell me about some success stories that you've had with some of the users using using your tool as opposed to others? Like what works?
We have a lot of users. We have our Facebook group with our users, and users quite often post their results, and it's quite inspiring for us as a team because we have users who have currently 500 days of activity in a row.
Wow.
So yeah, it's quite good. So its user was consistent for 500 days. So it means that okay, our model about activity, it's like weighted average. So you don't need to do a huge workout every day. So you can balance the load, but in general, it's quite impressive. We have users who, for example, had different targets. So usually when men say something like they want to lose weight or something like that, it usually means that they want to lose weight and then to gain a lot of muscles. So
Exactly.
it's something like that. So it's
Guys
not
want to
like,
be buff, man.
yeah, yeah. So, and we have quite good results. It's a minus 20 kilos in a few months, and then it's not just minus 20 kilos, but it's also better body composition for users, so they have a much higher lean mass, and that's why we believe in our approach. And currently for us, it's not only communication, but also we want to provide some kind of supportive metrics that will help them to track their progress, like strength score, for example, or like I said, activity streak. You usually need to have this anchor or some number that will help you to understand if you're progressing or not.
Right.
For someone, it can be just weight on your scales, but it's so let's say, hard to achieve goal, and it's so far usually to have something meaningful. You need month or more, and
Oh yeah, easy.
you cannot get as like quick dopamine in this case. That's
And we
why.
all need the quick thing though. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah, and that's why we try to understand how to provide user this feeling of progress, and it's not like just feeling, but highlight that okay, you're progressing, but you to get like significant results, it's usually takes much more time, but
Yeah.
you're on good track. So
So are you just doing workouts or are you also doing food as well? Or is it just workouts that you're tracking?
so currently we have like guidance on food. For example, we have our body scanner, and based on this body scanner, we provide some guidance on macronutrients. And also we have, let's say, component about nutrition inside our coach. So if you ask something about nutrition, we are answering on it. And we plan to add full nutrition component with the tracking of calories because, for example, currently it's around 30% of our communication with our coach is around nutrition.
Mm.
So it's quite complementary and it's quite important part of your fitness journey. So, and we have plans by the end of the year to add this component in full
Excellent,
size.
excellent. So, tell me more about the coaches themselves. I mean, are they modeled after anybody in particular? I mean, did you use specific models that are already out there to model the coaches, or?
Yeah, in case of visual representation, yes. So
Hmm.
we have models and they show all of the examples of exercises, and then these models communicate with the users inside the app. So, but of course, their personality is like quite different from what it started. So it's changed according to our tests.
Right.
But yes, as I said, for users, it's quite important to see someone close to real.
So, have you had situations where people pick a coach and they go, "Oh my God, this guy's too tough. I gotta switch to somebody else." Does that happen?
Not yet. At least we haven't seen this kind of direct feedback for us, but we've seen something like, okay, I cannot change this coach because I will feel that I'm cheating on her or something like that. So this kind of feedback,
It's like real life, right?
yeah, yeah. So they quite connected to them.
I love it. I love it. So it's time to think like a futurist. It's year 10, 2035, 10 years from now. Now, my ideal concept for what you're doing is that these things actually start interacting with the real world and, take your take your car and park it like a mile away so you have to walk to the meeting and stuff like that, like force things to do. Do you see that in the future, or where do you see things going in the next 10 years?
Oh, even we are speaking about future in general, not like about our market and fitness space. So I've thought about it before our conversation, and for me, it's quite tricky to predict because, for example, let's take, I don't know, 60s or 70s when it was like quite huge leap in space. I mean, like is in space exploration, and
Yeah.
it was. It's for me. I'm younger, so I born like in the 90s. So for me, it's quite hard to imagine how it felt like because, for example, some of people still in even in progressive countries used horses in some regions,
Oh
and
yeah.
you have this space exploration. So it's looks incredible, and all of this, let's say, thoughts about future and Kubrick's Space Odyssey. It's like 201, so
Yeah.
2001. So it's not like so far. But maybe for us, it looks like with all of this AI hype and so on, that we will, I don't know, explore in new, I don't know, medicines, or we will have all of these self-driving cars and so on in 50 years. But it's quite possible that we will have like something a little bit better than now.
Hmm.
And we will just have ultra realistic video generation of cats cooking something like we have now in TikTok. But
You could have a cat as your coach if you wanted to, if you really love
yeah, but
cats.
if think about it seriously, so if we will have real progress in this AI, so it can impact a lot on uh, current. I would think environment because it will change a lot how people work, and
Mm,
because in most of the I don't know, uh, not like building construction business, but in all of the IT business or something like that, you will need not so many employees. So it
yeah.
means that it will be more free employees on the market, and they will need to learn something new. Uh, and it will be quite interesting how we as humanity will deal with it because it's okay, can be solved with kind of changing of labor law or some again restrictions, or it will be a bigger difference between rich people and others.
Mm,
It's usually you don't want to live in place like I don't know in some futuristic movies or series like I don't know Arcane from Netflix when you have like two worlds of rich people and some underworld.
yeah. We're kind of living in that world right now, aren't we? It's kind
Yeah,
of
but I think it can be worse.
Yeah, it could. That's true. That's true. But what about the
So
fitness space specifically, though? What do you think is going to happen? Like, I mean, if you go back 10 years, not much has changed in fitness, right? But I'm
I
assuming that now with AI, a lot is going to change in the next 10 years.
I think even if we compare like 10 years ago and now, it changed a lot because, as I said, with all of these wearables now, users have much more data. So with all of this Whoop and currently everyone from my friends check these recovery scores and try to make them better.
Yeah.
And I think it will be huge trend on personalization. So
Mm.
because it's, as I said, it's a lot of different people with all of different needs, and they need to get their solution. It will be trend to interactivity. I think it will be one more attempt to provide this interactive coaching inside, I don't know, gym, to have a personal coach for everyone inside the apps, other platforms, and it's quite achievable with the current tech stack. And it will be quite interesting to see not like only fitness, but let's say health segment in holistic way,
Yeah.
because fitness it's only usual activity, but it's again nutrition, and it can be personalized nutrition plans, and it's personalized even supplements and so on. And I think it will help people a lot because even it's about your health, and if it can be found how to do it in a motivational way, because usually fitness it's a very hard activity to do because you need to do something like not
Super
very
hard. Super hard.
pleasant pleasant so and if you will find your activity that you will like, I don't know, do you do any kind of fitness activities?
Oh, I like hiking. I do a lot of hiking.
Yeah, for example, for
Hiking
you
and
it can
cycling.
be hiking, cycling. For other person, I don't know, it will be no pickleball or something else
Yeah.
that is trendy. So, and
I'm not coordinated enough for pickleball.
yeah, but for example, here in my region, it's growth of padel, so it's a lot of people who
Oh,
play.
I've heard about padel. I hear that's really cool. I've never tried it, but it's pretty exciting. I hear it's a very exciting sport.
Yeah, yeah, and it's growing a lot. And I think in this case, you just need to find your activity and be active. It's better to do something and then just to lay on the couch. So that's why I think for us, goal is not to provide the perfect plan for you from I don't know, fitness science perspective. For us, it's goal to motivate you to do something.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
will like your activity, it's okay. It's already half of the job. Then we can iterate, make it better to educate user, but we need to start.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. This is great. So thank you so much. This has been awesome. So if someone wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way?
I think LinkedIn.
Just
So I
LinkedIn?
think, Yeah, I think it's a better way to interact with me because in case of Instagram, I'm not so very active in there. So, but LinkedIn, I think is the best way to interact with me.
Great, and I'll put in links to the app in the show notes too. So you said you've
Yes.
been around for 4 years, but this is only launched 4 months ago. Is that right? Or
We launched the app, 4 years ago, but we from the day one, our goal is to build AI coach. We just started with different component. We started with the recommender system, then with interactive component, and then with this communicational part.
fantastic. Well, I will try it out as soon as we get off the call. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye.
Pixels and philosophies merge and mold, a future untold, unseen.